Coach, another great win. I think let's just start there. How's it feel to be back home and get a big win in front of the Spirit fans after that long road trip?
Felt great. Yeah, it's been awesome having the Spirit family, out there supporting us, and it was one of those games where you look up in the stands, you see all the people that are supporting us, and you just want to do your dang hardest to make sure that we're putting out a good performance. And I do think some of that got to us a little bit though. So those are things that we can kind of get into later. But overall, coming home, winning in a dominant fashion, and it was one of those things that was very happy to be a part of.
And let's just get right into the ground attack that was fully on display today. Jalen McGee, 200 rushing yards today and two rushing touchdowns. 200 rushing yards, sixth most in program history in a single game performance. On top of that, he got his 1,000th career rushing yard here at OUAZ. Awesome. Yeah. And then on top of that, we also set a program record in rushing first downs today. So how did you feel about the running game, and how crucial was it to today?
Yeah, I think I said early in the week, it was going to kind of come down to the trenches, and I challenged our offensive line, and Mr. McGee did a great job, but obviously he'll be the first one to tell you that O-line played their tails off, and we were dominant, and I think that was a game plan of ours going in, and Coach Allshouse and Coach Anderson came up with some great ideas. We did a couple things that we haven't done before to attack what we felt like were their weaknesses, and it was a good feeling to kind of see that come to fruition. And there's so many different ways you can dominate and win a game, and for us to go out there and do that, I think it just proves the brand of football that we want to take into the deep part of the season. So I was proud of that.
I'd also be remiss not to give the defense their credit again, only allowing 2 scores today. Believe that now puts them at second in the entire NAIA in points per game allowed. How's that defense been for you this year, and Coach D on that side?
Awesome, amazing. Love the way that we're playing. The only thing that I brought up earlier to them, and Coach D was the first to address it, was just again the penalties. We've been so good at staying composed and playing through the whistle, and the term we've used is chaos, within the whistle, and so that was the only black eye, for lack of a better word. And again, you love throwing those stats, and I want to close my ears, because you got that jinx monster on us a little bit. But Coach Dominguez has done a great job of leading the defense, but not only Coach D, it's really the whole defensive staff. Coach Castaneda, Coach Yag, and all of our young coaches that really work very hard and hold themselves to a high professional standard, and I think that's awesome that we've been able to kind of prove that throughout the whole program, the way that it's kind of trickled down.
Coach, your team, the score was 10-7 with about 4 minutes left in the first half. That 4-minute offense comes right down the field, scores right before half, and it leads to 3 unanswered touchdowns. How important was that touchdown before the half to pull the momentum and ultimately pull away in that second half?
Yeah, I thought it was huge. Again, Luke didn't throw for 400 yards like he's done in the past, but he just finds a way to put this team on his back. And again, that drive was Luke putting his stamp on the game, and basically leading us down and scoring right before the half. So that was huge. Could not be bigger. And some of the plays he made on 4th down, and then stepping up and delivering that ball, and that with 18 seconds left, when it looked like field goal was probably where it was heading, and we took a shot, and it's because we trust Luke, and Luke made us look like we did the right thing.
Speaking of Luke, 15 of 20 today, 2 passing touchdowns, while the run game was obviously kind of the eye popper. How was he able to also manage that game and still give you a big attack in the air?
I mean, that's what it is, just high efficiency, and again, we wanted to protect him this game. He was a little banged up last week, and so that was kind of our game plan. We felt like we had an advantage, and Luke, he deserves a lot of this rushing because, again, he's a guy I can say, hey, if they give us this, let's go this way. If they give us this, let's go that way. And he's just a commander of the offense, and I think that's what hopefully when people look at him, as a top player in the country, it's his cerebral approach to the game, and so much that we can trust him to do those things. So I mean that the one of his touchdown passes that he did throw, it was, we had talked, hey, if they go cover one, this is what we're going to do, and like clockwork, he goes up there, boom, checks it, makes a perfect check, and delivers the pass, and it's just it's fun to work with somebody like that.
You guys were incredibly efficient in big chances, third down efficiency. You were 12-16, 6 for 6 in the red zone. Why is it so important to not only convert on third down, but convert in the red zone when you get those opportunities?
Yeah, I think that those are the biggest determinant factors when you look at a game, with stats. For me, the guys that I've learned under, Coach Reichel, the people that are my mentors, Coach Rayburn, it's just really, you look at the rushing numbers. Usually the team that runs the ball does better, and who does better on third down, and then obviously turnovers. So it was a dominant performance when it came to the efficiency part of it, and that really, again, I can't credit the O-line enough for that, because it gave me the confidence on third down and whatever to maybe just run the ball, and that's going to make you more efficient.
Coach, first matchup against the rival ACU since 2023. There were a couple of I would say, rougher penalties out there. Do you think that just comes down to it's a rivalry game, or is it something that you kind of want to clean up that you've noticed on the road too?
Yeah, I think we've been one of the more least penalized teams, and today we weren't. So that was by far something we need to address first thing tomorrow. And I think the rivalry game definitely got that. And I was very, very, very disappointed with those 15-yard penalties. It's probably one of the most disappointed I've been with our team right before the half, and thankfully we went down and did that drive. But I think our players just need to continue to realize that we control our own destiny, and there's only so many teams that can say that. Like, truly, like, if we just go out and we control the way that we play and we control our emotions, we can control the outcome, And so today we let our emotions get the best of us. Now, I don't want to take a 10% to ruin the 90%. However, that's something that we cannot let happen again. And when you can have those teachable moments in a win, and a dominant win, hopefully that's a better place to be on a Sunday, if that makes sense.
And obviously you were asked about the efficiency on offense. There's also some pretty good efficiency on defense, holding ACU to just 2 for 8 on third down attempts. There's also really key interception late in the game. What did you see out of that defense that really helped limit your opponent tonight?
Again, those are the ways that you can kind of prove who's the better team, right? And those crucial moments and those things, Coach D put a great game plan together, and our players played with passion and played with fire. And some of those first downs that they did get was probably because we had a penalty. So that's a great teachable moment that we're going to walk into tomorrow and hopefully do our best to correct.
And then my last question for you, obviously this is your first matchup against ACU as head coach. Do you kind of feel like you got the monkey off your back now, or going into next season you're going to be just as motivated in this matchup?
Well, to be honest with you, it's not just coach talk for me. I truly believe this. It goes back to what I just said, how we control our own destiny. So I tried not to change one thing, whether we were playing the team we played the last week or the team we're playing this week. So I think for me, the rivalry is irrelevant, to be honest with you. It's just everyone we play, we control our own destiny. It's a faceless opponent. Let's handle our business. Let's do our job. So I'll try and handle that the exact same way next year as well.
Coach, obviously it's just a number, but you guys walked in here, number 13. Does hearing the ranking for the players or for you as a head coach, does it give you guys some extra motivation to see maybe if that number can change or if you guys can continue that momentum?
Yeah, it doesn't. It truly doesn't, because, again, it just goes back to that hard mindset that I try and bring every single day of control. We can control. We are always working to get better, no matter what happened the moment before. And it's about being in the moment. It's about the next play. It's about controlling what you can control. We can't control the pass. Can't control the rankings, so that's kind of irrelevant to us.
Hey, Coach, you guys were 2 for 3 on fourth down conversions. 2 of those fourth downs, the 4th and 12 and the 4th and 8. After on those drives,
You mean the decision?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when you have confidence in your players and you have confidence in your quarterback, it makes it a lot easier, and that's how I feel. So that definitely helped with that decision.
Thank you.
Coach, on a little bit of a lighter note, your wife Kaylin did the coin toss today and won the coin toss for you. And was there a little added pressure to win this one when she was out there getting that coin toss?
Again, no, there wasn't added pressure just because we already have it. But I did have a lot of family out here today, which was a great feeling. And again, we're still healing as a family, with what I had with my mom passing. So for a lot of us, it was the first time we were together. So again, it was just a great. It was kind of a cool deal that Mr. Steele did that for us, knowing that her family was out here from Chicago, and her mom got to see her go out on the field, and the way our players reacted to her was awesome. And having Griff up here with me, that's what makes this place special, and hopefully, hopefully we keep it rolling.
Coach, Coach, little segue to that. I promise I didn't give James my question, but home opener, you shared with us about the loss in your family.
Yes, sir.
Today, I talked to your father-in-law. Your stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fantastic conversation. I've come to many practices. I see your son at your side. He's here today. Talk to us about your relationship with your son and how special that is to you, and how that might continue to help you continue to grow here at OUAZ.
Yeah, no, I think that's what's so awesome about this place is that it's a place where that is a welcomed approach, and we try and walk the walk. So I think having Griff around the team is not only enriches him. He's a great young man, and he's thriving in so many ways, spiritually, emotionally, and athletically, and it's because of our players. It's because of the relationship that they have with them, and then I think it also helps our players too. Because when I bring my kids around, or our other coaches bring our kids around, we're not just giving them a lip service. We're showing them what's the most important thing to me that I've said from the very beginning is turning these men into great husbands and fathers. Whether they score 100 points for us or they score 0 points, the biggest victory for me is how they live their life when they leave here. And we have so many good men on this team that aren't playing, and hopefully when we look back, we're all going to be proud of them as well, because a lot of times our scout teams are working harder and performing at a high level better than some teams that we play. So having my son be a part of it is awesome. When we went out to Dallas, he came out to the team. We played at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And I got to kind of have that moment. Like, I know my mom was looking down at us and just how happy she was. And he's out there high-fiving the players. And I just took a moment, said a prayer of just gratitude, So I appreciate you bringing it up. And it was a special night. And we hopefully will have a lot more of them.
Speaking on that now, looking forward, you get a bye week this coming week, and then it's the final stretch, Arkansas Baptist at home, Texas Wesleyan on the road, and then finishing the year back here at Spirit Field against Louisiana Christian. How are you looking ahead on those, and what do you think is going to be the key to finish down this final stretch?
You know the answer. We're not looking ahead, right? We're just focused on Arkansas Baptist, and we're focused on the singular task. And the singular task is watching the film tomorrow, getting in the treatment room, getting in the weight room, and then that's it. That's the focus right now. Is what do we do tomorrow, and then we take our day, and then we go to Tuesday and move from there. Does that kind of make sense? So, I'm trying not to look too far ahead. I'm just trying to take task by task by task. The only thing we are looking ahead is recruiting. Recruiting our tails off. We had about 40 to 50 players out there today, and I think that was such a cool environment for them to see, what it could be for them if they're lucky enough to, get that opportunity to play here for us.
Thank you, Coach. Enjoy your bye week, and we can't wait to see you back here at Spirit Field.
I got one more shout out to the surprise CCV Super Bowl champions, QB number 1 right here. All right, let's go, baby. Say thank you. Yeah, say go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
All right. right, thanks, guys.
All right, Dave, defense is coming in next.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Let's just start with the easiest thing. You guys have been on the road for over a month now since the last time we saw you here at Spirit Field on September 6th. How did it feel to get back out there this week in front of the home fans against an opponent that we know might not be your most favorite one out of them all?
Honestly, it felt great to be back on our home field in front of our fans, you know what I'm saying, do what we do. The guys were hyped up for ACU. We were hyped up for ACU offense and defensively wise, and I felt like we came out and performed in front of our home crowd.
Obviously, another strong defensive performance today, only 14 points on the board. A lot of key plays, including a game-cinching interception at the end there. It's been the defense all year, I think, has been one of the biggest stories with you guys, especially now, one of the top teams in the NAIA in points allowed this year.
Yeah.
How does it feel to really be that driving force this year, and how's it been with Coach D this year?
Honestly, it's been like real tough. You know what I mean? Coach D expects a lot out of us. You know what I mean? Every week we battle, every week dealing with him. You know what I mean? Trying to get everything situated. But the main thing is us like stacking days every week and playing every team like, you know what I mean, like they're below us. But, you know what I mean? We know we're the top dogs in this conference. So we attack everything with 100% effort.
Y'all held Arizona Christian to just 117 rushing yards. Were you guys expecting a big rushing attack, or how did you guys
I
plan
mean,
for that?
honestly, that's too many. You know, 117, we like to keep it under 50, you know, just leading that. But I felt like we executed a lot on the plays that we had in and had installed. We knew that we're a rushing team, so we did our best with that, kept the explosives to a minimum, and just executed on every play that we had.
And you guys held them to 2 for 8 on third downs. Was there any additional pressure? What did you guys think you guys did right there, limiting them to not being able to convert?
I mean, we always bring simulated pressures. We bring pressures every third down, first through third. We're a pressure team. I mean, that's what our bread and butter is bringing the pressure. And when they got home, they got home. So big third downs, stopping the team on big third down is kills their momentum and gives it back to the offense.
And obviously that kind of game-finishing interception, how does that really feel for the whole defensive unit when you get to close out a game like that?
Man, that turnover was big. I mean, it just brought the defense alive. I wish we got it earlier in the game. But, man, it's great to have turnovers. We live off turnovers. We live off Gator. And, I mean, we try to give 5 turnovers, but, I mean, one is good turnover on down. But that big interception by Fred was big.
So that means next game we'll expect 3-4 out of you?
We need it. We need everything that we can get.
Need them all.
So you guys had enough penalty yards to have more than ACU. ACU did have more physical penalties, though. Coach talked about how disappointed he was in the penalties. What do you guys see defensively in terms of the penalty count today?
We knew it was gonna be a physical game, so like us looking at the penalties, I'd say like we knew the penalties was gonna happen. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like we just couldn't get down on ourselves when we did have a penalty. You know what I mean? We just had to keep fighting, hold strong. You know what I mean? Keep them out of the end zone. You know what I mean? They reached there 1 time, 2 times, I think. But you know what I mean? We're not really worried about them for real.
tonight on 22 dropbacks for Arizona Christian, 9 quarterback hurries, 3 pass breakups, and the interception. Obviously, that pressure is really what's causing those bad throws, the interception. What kind of pressures were you guys able to bring that kept them so off balance all night in the passing game?
I mean, they know on the edges we're going to bring the pressure. They just don't know where it's coming from. So, I mean, we got those guys checking even when we're not coming, but even when we are coming, we're bringing it home. I mean, as our guys were trying to get the sack out, D-line lives for the sack. I feel like we have one of the best D-linemen in D-line group in the whole country, and it was displayed tonight.
Stayed very disciplined on defense as well. They're running that wing tee. They're running a lot of motion. They're trying to kind of flash which way they're going to hand the ball off. How were you guys able to stay disciplined and make sure really that big play on the ground didn't happen?
Eyes. Keeping your eyes where, you know what I mean, doing your job. You know what I mean, doing your assignment and not trying to do too much.
Right.
Honestly, that's really it. Not trying to do too much, just doing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing.
All right, I got a fun one for you guys. I'm in the press box. A couple of your redshirt guys kept saying, gotta, oh, gotta. And when you give up the second touchdown, oh, gotta. Man, these guys are going to hate it. We can't say what gotta stands for. We both know what it is, right?
Yes, sir.
But, okay, which one of your teammates is going to have the hardest time with gotta, and which one of your teammates just kills it every time you guys got to run it?
I feel like the guy that kills it the most is Riley Pierce. I feel like he lives for the Gator. If I had to pick one, for worse, that it would affect worse, it had to be one of the interior D linemen. I don't know one specifically because they do, be struggling with that. But, I mean, I feel like everybody kind of be tired at the end of practice when we're doing our punishment. But, I mean, it's Gator. I feel like coaches enforces that. If we do that every week, that structure that we uphold with Gator, I feel like it wins the games for us on defense-wise.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, I'm going to hit you on IG, all right? Got you, bro. Sure. Now you have the phone. That's great.
All right, guys, another big win, 6-0 now. I'm sure that feels great. But another question I obviously have to ask, last time you were here at Spirit Field was September 6th. How does it feel after that long to finally be back here in front of the home crowd and get a big win like that?
Yeah, just like my first year when I first played, like we were on the road for 4 weeks in a row. Yeah, it's tough, like being away from home, like just on the road constantly. Like, it's just adversity that we go through, but we just turned out to be road warriors once again and go undefeated on the road.
Not one of your biggest throwing nights, Luke, but a very efficient night. 15 of 20, 175 yards. Obviously, rushing attack was huge tonight. But what did you feel you were able to do just to kind of manage the game and just get what you needed each time without having to need the big explosive throwing play tonight?
I think just trusting Jalen McGee and Jay Sean Foster, like those two right there had one of the biggest run games. And shout out to our O-line and our O-line coach, Coach House, for putting a plan together and a scheme together against the ACU defense. And it's just props to the guys up front, to be honest. Like, the O-linemen did an amazing job today. I wish, like, they were all up here because, like, they should be, because without them, like Jalen and Foster wouldn't have a game they had, and House for creating a good scheme.
And Matthew, I know it's a cliche joke, but you were kind of like Waffle House tonight. You were open the entire night, 9 receptions for 90 yards. You just seemed like you were finding the soft spot in that defense all night. What were you seeing from them that allowed you to take advantage of their coverage?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they play awful lot, and that kind of works into what we like to do with RPOs and stuff. Like, we could hand the ball off, or if there's openings, Luke sees them, he just hits me, and that's really all that happened. And I was just thankful to get the ball that much for.
And obviously, we'll be talking to him here shortly, but Jalen McGee, 200 yards on the ground tonight, 2 touchdowns, got his career best in rushing yards in a game, 6th best all time in OUAZ history, and 1,000 career rushing yards. And it just looked like he couldn't be stopped. How great is it to have a guy like that back there who just does not like to be tackled?
Yeah, Jalen is a different animal. Like, I played with him since junior college. I've played all 4 years of football with him, and it just every year, every game, I could tell he's different. Every time the ball's in his hands, he just makes a play. He doesn't get tackled by the first guy and bulldozes through everybody. Like, that guy's a difference maker on our team, and we would not be the team we are without him, for real.
I believe it was the third quarter, and that reception, ball comes loose. Obviously it got called back, so it wasn't actually a fumble, but did you think there was actually a case for that? What did you see on the play?
Yeah, I just got hit, and I don't know if I was really down, but I was going to plead my case that I was down the whole time. I was scared, though, but I was thankful that I really didn't fumble it because they challenged it, and we won the challenge. But I was nervous for sure, and I'm going to make sure I hold that ball every time now for the rest of the year. I'm not going to ever even come close to fumbling again.
And then Luke, obviously, very solid game for you, just under 200 yards. Do the stats really matter to you as much as the wins and just being out there with the boys, or?
Nah, this year I'm a team guy. So if we win, like tonight, I ain't throw for like 300 yards. I'm fine with that. Like, Jalen McGee, Foster, all of our running backs had a good game. I'm most proud of them. Like, I'm not a selfish guy. Like, if I don't have a good game and my running backs have a good game, my receivers have a good game, that's all I can ask for. But really, it was just our O-line today. Like, they really helped McGee, Foster, all those guys really make their good game today.
Last time we got to speak after the first home game, you kind of gave me the impression that this entire team kind of gives me the impression there's a big accountability and kind of short memory on the good stuff. So let's talk about the one bad play, the one interception. What is the first thing you thought that you were going to do on the very next time you got the football to move forward?
Yeah. That first half, I like kind of re-injured my shoulder again, and like the adrenaline was going, so it didn't really bother me. But at halftime, it got stiff, so when I came back out, it kind of like shortened my throws. So I just underthrew them. Like, if it was healthy, it would have been a touchdown. But just coming off that, I just knew like it was just out of my control with my shoulder. But just rallying the guys, the defense did amazing to stop them and give the ball back to us. And it was amazing just to go down there and score again. And I was just being happy because like it doesn't matter about the pick. All it matters about other guys getting touchdowns and having fun and winning the game for everybody.
And then obviously, dominant running game tonight, but on the defensive side, very solid. Does that give you guys more energy on the offense where you know that your defense has your back? If there's any small mistakes, you know they got it?
Yeah. Coach D, as long as I've been here, as long as he's been here, he's done an amazing job with the defense. Like, every year our D-line's been really, really solid. His recruiting style is amazing. He gets the right guys to come here, and he just brings dominant people to our program. And it's just all Coach D. You know, I give him a lot of props because I know him as a man too. So he's a wonderful guy, and he's a great DC.
So at the end of the first half there, 4 minutes left after ACU answered with that touchdown to bring it to 10-7 and what looked to start to be a close game. That 4-minute offense to get down to the other end of the field and finding Matthew. What was that whole drive like, and how did it feel to, I mean, obviously you didn't know at the time, but to get essentially the game-icing touchdown there?
The second quarter, right? Yeah. All right. So it was like a 2-minute drill. Like, it was 3 minutes left. So we tried to score before the half, so we get the ball back because we deferred it. So it worked out for us. When we went down there and scored with like 15 seconds left. So that really helped out. And like coming at halftime, like you score again and it becomes a 14-point swing, and it kind of like demoralizes the other team when that happens. So like us doing that was amazing, like going at halftime with that score.
Now, obviously, it's just a number, but you come in as number 13 ranked, and obviously pending the results of tonight's game. Does that number mean anything to you two, or is it kind of just another number next to you guys' name?
For me, numbers don't mean nothing, because next week we get upsetted. Like, that's what college is, built off upsets. Like, Miami just lost to Louisville, and Louisville's not even ranked. So it doesn't matter what you're ranked in the country. You got to treat everybody week by week like they're the number one team in the country, because if you slack off, they can easily upset you, and that would just torment your whole season. So numbers don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I say the same. Numbers really don't matter. Like Coach said, it's just faceless opponents. Whoever we play next week, we just have to beat them. Whatever we're ranked, whoever we get in the playoffs, it don't matter. We're just going to play our game.
Y'all were incredibly efficient in pretty big aspects of the game. On third down, you were 12 for 16, 6 for 6 in the red zone. How important is it to convert not only on third down, but on the opportunities that you get in the red zone?
It's big, converting on third downs, because come playoff times, if we get there, that's going to be big, because playoffs is just built off, like, very clutch moments. And third downs, like, converting on those kind of, like, tires out the defense, because it just brings them down, like, morally. So just keep converting and just not have a lot of third downs. Like, try to get the first downs through first and second down to, like, help it keep it going.
So obviously y'all had a lot of penalties tonight. How did you guys not let that affect the way you played your game and regain all that yardage back?
Penalties, we can't have those. I know it's our rival, but we can't have those, because if we play like that and like let those penalties affect us, come playoff time, when we play against a very, very good team, like penalties can like lead to drive extenders, and that can really hurt us. So we gotta be smarter on both ends, offense and defense, to control ourselves. Even though it's a rivalry game, we gotta treat it like if we're in playoffs, like unsportsmanlike conduct is a 15-yard penalty, and that would kill like the defense if they're like 3rd and 15 and they just automatically get the first down. So we can't have penalties.
I got one more for you. You have mentioned playoffs more times than I have fingers on both my hands. Do you go into every single matchup with a playoff mindset where if you lose, kind of the season's over? Is that kind of how you play?
Yeah. I kind of treat this place as like Alabama. Like, if we lose, like, that's just – a lot of places, like, if you lose one game, it's an amazing season. Like, to this program, if you lose one game, it's like the worst season. And that's the standard we built here at Ottawa University. And that's what it has to keep going as the standard throughout the future years, because if we want to be successful or, like, win a national championship, that's the type of mindset we have to have.
Speaking on that, obviously looking past the ACU game now and looking ahead, got the bye week next week, and then final stretch, 3 more games. Home against Arkansas Baptist, on the road against Texas Wesleyan, and then back at home against Louisiana Christian. What's the message in the locker room right now as you guys prepare for this final stretch?
Just to lock in. Like, we got this bye week. We're all going to get a chance to recover and heal any little injuries we got, and then we get to come back the next 3 weeks and have a full team and stay healthy and push beyond them 3 weeks. You know, we have a tough matchup against Tex West, but we have to take every other team just as serious as Tex West, and then we have to look forward to the playoffs and hoping that we can go undefeated this whole year and set our sights in December. Playing December football, that's the goal. So that's what I'm looking forward to the rest of this year.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the bye week. We can't wait to see you guys back here at Spirit Field on November 1st.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all for staying.
Jalen, obviously a big night for both you and the team. Let's just start overall. How did it feel to get a big win after you guys haven't been home since September 6th? How did it feel to get back out there in front of the Spirit fans and get this win?
It felt great coming back home. It was a long 4 weeks on the road, traveling, getting up early, but we find a way to win the games on the road, big ones, and today we came out and dominated all 4 quarters.
Then, obviously, huge night tonight, 200 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. It just seems like you're allergic to getting tackled. Like you just refuse to go down.
Yeah.
What's that mindset for you when you go out there where you just love to get that contact and run people over?
Yeah, I have a rule where I don't like getting tackled by one guy. I don't like that at all. So I try to run as hard as I can, bring about 4 guys with me. And, yeah, it's a mindset of not having one guy tackle me.
Also, congratulations in order. A couple of big milestones to talk to you about. First, career-wise, 1,000 rushing yards in your OUAZ career. Then on top of that tonight, you had the 6th most rushing yards in a single game by a Spirit running back ever.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And then on top of that, I think you guys also set a school record for rushing first downs as well. So how big was that running offense tonight, and what did you guys see against the Firestorm that allowed you guys to say, this is what we need to do and this is how we're going to win this game?
Yeah, it was huge. Credit to the O-line. They were beasts. The trenches was controlled by the O-linemen, and I'm blessed to have 5 great O-linemen to block for me. Just a lot of gaps were open, so I see a gap, I'm going to take it, and you better hope to bring me down because I'm going to keep rolling.
And obviously talk about the 2 guys that were just in the room here, Luke and Matthew Hicks, both having really good games. How did you feel just having that balanced offense tonight where maybe other than your big night and the big rushing attack, you were able to mix things up and not need the big explosive plays that sometimes we've seen needed before, but you guys are just able to run the ball when you wanted to, take the yards that you got on the passing game. And so what did you guys see tonight that was your strategy?
Well, with Matt, I went to a junior college with Matt, so seeing that from him was just a normal thing. I've been waiting for Matt to have a breakout game. With Luke's just he's a guy. I mean, you guys see him every week in, week out, what he does for us. And, it starts with him as our quarterback and as our leader. We look to him when, things go, south a little bit. And, he's there to pick us up when we need it. And, Luke's just a great guy. He's probably one of the best I play with.
So in the third quarter there, Luke took it on himself. It was a 3rd and 16, converted that big time. Do you like what you saw from him? I know he's a dual threat quarterback, but kind of taking after you and getting a big game there in the third quarter.
Yeah, I like seeing Luke run a little bit. There's times where I'm like, he better get down because we cannot have him get hurt. But no, having him, on that 3rd and 16, pick up the first down was huge. It was great. I love seeing him in the open field run, break somebody's ankles, slide when he can, and yeah, it was great.
The early touchdown to kick it off, how good did it feel? You've been pretty explosive here in the year, but getting one so early on in the game, starting against this rival, how good did that feel to get to the right foot?
It felt great. I waited 2 years for this game. Last year we didn't have a schedule with them, so this year I was looking to really put the hammer on them guys.
"34 rushing attempts. Obviously, at least 3 other rushers on the team besides the dual threat quarterback. Do you ever kind of feel selfish a little bit, like you want even more, or do you want a little less?
For sure I want more. I didn't think I had 34 at the end of the game, but for sure I would love to have more carries and more yards for sure.
And you spoke about your O-line a couple of times. Just can you put it into your words just how important it is to have an offensive line that you can rely on?
Huge. I mean, it starts with them up front. If they don't get any push up front, I get no yards. I go nowhere. So what they did all night, controlling the front, was huge. The front that they had, was something that we've been practicing all week, and I think today we really showed that we can really go against any front and run the ball.
You mentioned that you have a rule of not getting tackled by just one player. Where did that rule come from?
My dad. As a little kid, always had the rule of not letting one guy bring me down. So that's been with me since I was like 7 years old. So I have that motto in my head every time.
And last question for you. Who would be one big inspiration you had growing up that makes you want to run the way that you do?
My dad. He taught me a lot of this stuff that I am doing right now. Him in my ear constantly every day, every week about how to run. So he's definitely a big help and why I'm successful right now.
Jalen ran the ball 68 times as a team. Kind of along the lines of, if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But was it the anticipation to keep the ball on the ground as much as you did, or did it just kind of work out that way because it was working so well?
Just the way it worked out. 6-man box. I mean, I can take one dude by myself, honestly. So they do their 5, I'll do the single by myself and just keep on rolling.
You scored your touchdown in the first quarter, almost a little over 5 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were getting closer to halftime, it felt like that might be the only touchdown that was scored of the night. But y'all go on that 4-minute drive, the 4-minute offense, you get
right.
the touchdown, you go 2 for 1 out of the half.
Mm-hmm.
How big was that in grabbing the momentum that it went from a defensive struggle to you kicked the door in?
Huge. With their offense, it's a slow ticking offense, so it'll take up, the clock. So at a halftime, I knew I had to at least get 1 or 2 more and put them on the scoreboard for us, and that's what we did. We came out as a team second half and really just balled out. We didn't take the foot off the gas at all, just kept on going.
We talk about your offensive line a lot. One of the things I love about your offensive line is they're so fired up when somebody scores a touchdown. On that pass to Angel, when he caught it in the end zone, the offensive line was jumping and fist pumping like they also caught the touchdown.
Yeah.
How awesome is it to see your offensive line get so fired up and really get into scoring touchdowns?
No, I love my O-line this year. They're some dogs. They fought all game, all year. They've been fighting some injuries, but tonight, I like seeing them happy because when they're happy, I'm happy. So that pass to Angel was definitely a pass that needed to be scored on because the O-lineman was tired. They was telling me we a little gassed, but it was good though.
All right, so non-football question. You gave credit to your pops. I asked him before you came in here who you got that running from, and he gave credit to your mom. So I'm looking back here, and I see some family members. Talk to us a little bit about how important your family's been to you in your entire football career. It takes a village, they say.
Yeah.
And so talk to us about your village.
It's huge. As you can see in the back, I got some more that aren't here, but I was 7 years old playing tackle, so just having, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, sister all at the game was it means a lot to me. 'Cause I know a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that opportunity to have, mom and dad at the game. So for me, it's huge. I love seeing them at every game they can come to. Kind of brings that little bit of spark out of me, because I know they're here. They travel 5 hours to come see me play. So I try to, make the best I can with the opportunity. Great.
Jalen, Dad here. Before the game, you came up to me. You called me down out of the stands, and you said, I got that feeling. What is that feeling? What are you feeling in that moment that's going to give you that indication that you're looking for a big game?
Well, my favorite superhero is Spider-Man. So I had that Spidey sense in me. I had that little tingle. So it felt great. I had that little spark in me. And, last week wasn't the best game I had, so I knew tonight I had to bounce back, and I had that feeling, so I just took it.
Yeah, nice. You also mentioned how your O-line played today. How did that impact what you were doing as far as running the ball tonight?
A lot. 200 yards says it by itself. So, all 5 of them did their job today. Especially, we had our little package with our 2 other tackles there. I like that formation. Keep doing that, Coach Murphy. But it's great. I love my own linemen this year. They fight. I'm telling you, every day it's something with them, and they find a way to push through. And I love my own linemen. I got to buy them steak dinners tonight or tomorrow.
Or maybe an In-N-Out.
Maybe something cheaper because I can't do a steak. They're gonna want the big boy steak. I don't got NIL for that.
Anyway, so now looking past this ACU game and looking forward to the future, obviously get a little time to kick back and relax here for a bye week before final stretch. 3 games, home at Arkansas Baptist, on the road against Texas Wesleyan, and then finishing the year at home against Louisiana Christian. So what are you and your mindset, and then also what needs to be the team mindset after coming out of this bye week to finish the season strong and be where you want to be coming late November and December?
Right. My mindset, is same as always. Go out there every game, every play, give it your best, give it your all. Really, I mean, hearing the records that I'm having right now, I'm trying to go chase one. So that's on my mind right now. But I'm not looking, forward, just trying to take it game by game, day by day, and just be the best version of myself. As a team, as being one of the leaders on the team, I'm trying to go 9-0. So I'm going to tell the team come tomorrow at team meeting, every day, take it day by day, game by game, and don't look too far in the future. Just stay in the moment.
Thank you, Jalen. Great game tonight.
Thank you, guys.
And we can't wait to see you guys back here on November 1st against Arkansas Baptist.
Thank you.